Hey comic book fans, this is your host Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I am back with another episode of Duck Punch Comics for the last 4 books I'll be reviewing that came out on August 25th. Sort of a weird day because all of these books are from Marvel. I do try to spice it up, switch things around, but today it's just all Marvel. So bear with me, DC fans. I know. What can you do? Anyway, today we have Secret Warriors number 19, The Avengers number 4, X-Men Legacy number 239, and Captain America number 609. So, like we always do, we're going to get right to the reviews with Secret Warriors number 19, written by Jonathan Hickman, with artwork by Alessandro Vitti. It is actually pretty rare that a book comes along that actually surprises me. Not that sort of, oh snap, that's a twist ending sort of surprise, but a genuine, wow, I can't believe they actually did that. This book is that sort of surprise. Now this picks up from the end of the last couple issues. Dum Dum Dugan is concluding his testimony in front of the UN Security Council regarding the battle in China between Hydra and the Howling Commandos. Which the battle itself has degenerated from a fight between giant helicarrier ships in the air down to 300-esque style last stand on the ground. The testimony ends with Dugan and his partner being thrown back in jail and Nick Fury being forced to make a very difficult choice. Now, I've been a little bit down on this book for the last 4 months or so because it really hasn't felt like it was going anywhere in a hurry. But with this issue, we really get to find out what sort of person Nick Fury is. Not in a bland character vignette sort of way, but in a way that makes you actually empathize with one of the toughest SOBs in all of comics. Plus, the result of his decision is, as I mentioned before, incredibly shocking. I didn't think he was going to do that. Or at least allow that to happen. Vitti is the same as he was last month. I'm not crazy about him, but I've seen worse. This is a really good issue. It successfully displays just what stakes the Secret Warriors are playing for, and just how far these agents are willing to go to take down their enemies. This isn't a tough man issue. This is an issue about paying prices. This is very good and very heavy. Definitely check this one out. Next up, Avengers number 4, written by Brian Michael Bendis and John Romita Jr. Screw it, I'm done. I've wasted enough time and energy on this book, which alternates between just bad and altogether pointless. The story is completely uninteresting. I don't care about any of the things that's going on. And the art is hideous. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are now witnessing the first book I've dropped since starting these reviews. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know what Bendis does between New Avengers and this title that makes New Avengers pretty good and this one suck out loud. But it does. So, at the risk of giving up all credibility, I just wanted to say, for the record, that this book is terrible. Avoid at all costs. Okay, we're getting off of that, so boxing on to something a little bit more entertaining. X-Men Legacy, number 239. Written by Mike, where did Mark come from? Mike Carey, with artwork by Clay Mann. I'm always partial to Uncanny X-Men as being the best X-Men title. But with Fraction's steady decline and Carey's unendingly good storytelling, since taking over this book, that might be changing very soon. Now, this story has Rogue and her band of X-Men continuing their adventures in India, where they have been attacked by a Sentinel. The crisis is averted, but tensions are still high as the mysterious girl Luz continues to be cagey, and Paris, his family, continues to make life just unbearable, especially for their son. But just when things start to look like they might be heading toward an answer, an old enemy shows up and things get kicked into a whole nother level. Now, Carey has made the conscious decision to really explore the world through the eyes of the X-Men, not simply tell beat-em-up stories with the X characters. He attempts to humanize these characters, while still reminding us that they can turn cars inside out with their brains and shoot electricity out of their nostrils. His X-Men are both human and superhuman, which most writers, when they try to do that, make them entirely unrelatable. But Carey really pulls it off. This is a great book for any X fan. Probably better than Uncanny. Just don't tell anyone. Now, Man reminds me a lot of Lou Pacino from X Factor, only not nearly as grating on my feeble sense of aesthetic. I could deal with another artist here, but he works alright. This is a very strong book that has really come out from under the radar to be one of the best X titles out there. Do yourself a favor and start reading this. You'll thank me later. Last up, Captain America number 609, written by Ed Brubaker with art by Butch Guice. In what had already been a really intense story arc, this issue takes things much closer to their very obvious, but nonetheless explosive ending. But the carnage wrought along the way is wow. Now, Baron Zemo is continuing to plague Bucky Barnes, the new Captain America, by not only revealing his past as a Soviet assassin to the whole world, but by breaking into his home to taunt him. While Cap goes off to find his tormentor, Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, Black Widow, and Red Falcon all try to follow his trail, only to be derailed by one of Zemo's agents. Bucky and Zemo do battle, but Zemo, being Zemo, is always just one step ahead and one little bit smarter. And of course, he takes advantage. The last page sets up the final battle, which in turn ties all the way back to the original issue of the story arc and ties everything into a neat little bow. Now, reading this story has been such a treat. Not only do we get to see Ed Brubaker's take on one of the most dangerous villains in all the Marvel Universe, but we're also seeing the maturation of Bucky Barnes as Captain America. Brubaker is bringing everything that his run on this book has covered so far back around to their inevitable conclusions, and we're getting to see the absolute chaos that all of these events would bring with them. It feels less like a superhero story and more like the middle chapter of a major Hollywood trilogy. Brubaker has set us up and is now showing us just how hard these characters can fall, and it's great. Guys, you're either going to really like his work or you're not. For me, he's just a little too dark and shaded, but I can't say that it doesn't fit the book, so I guess I don't have too big of an issue here. Now, while this issue wasn't as strong as the last one, this is still a really good issue. Yeah, the ending is telegraphed, but watching the story unfold has been where it has shown. Brubaker is one of the best out there, and issues like this are reasons why. So there you go, guys. The last 4 issues that I'll be talking about that came out last week. Tomorrow, we're going to have our first ever wrap-up show, which we're going to look back at all those things we talked about so far this week, and we're going to sort of pick out which title I thought was the best, give sort of an overview. Hopefully, you guys will show up for that one too. As always, leave comments, leave me messages, tell me what you thought. Hopefully, I can make improvements. As always, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching.